Hi everyone! So today I'm going to show you how to get this muted, toned down Rococo Marie Antoinette style look. So first you're going to start off with your lips. I always prime my lips if I know I'm going to do a red lipstick or something that's going to stay all day and be long lasting like a matte lipstick. This is really important because if you don't prime your lips and if they're not hydrated, they're going to end up cracking throughout the day and you're going to get like this, mess of lipstick. And what I'm using right here is a Milani lip scrub, and what that is it's a lip scrub that exfoliates your lips and it takes off all the dead skin. It's mostly made up of sugar, which is what most lip scrubs are made out of. So I would highly recommend using a lip scrub first. So then you wipe it off, and then what I'm doing next is I'm applying a lip balm. And you can apply any lip balm that you have. This one is from my friend who has her own bath company. She also does cosmetics, so I really like this lip balm. Now what I'm doing is I'm just filling in my eyebrows. I'm just using an eyebrow pencil and I'm just filling in any areas that are sparse. I still like my eyebrows a little on the thicker side, but if you don't want it to be that thick, you don't have to do them like that. So then I just brush out the pencil, and that's the way you do your eyebrows. You fill them in and then you brush them out, and I always use an upwards motion. And right now I'm applying a brow gel. So what that does is that helps set the brow pencil and keeps it on all day. So for this look, I'm going to use a smaller brand, like an indie brand, and this is from Honeybee Gardens. This is their Renaissance palette. And what I'm doing is I'm just applying a pink color to the outer corner in my crease. If you have hooded eyes, I would suggest going a little higher with this method. Because with hooded eyes, if you look straight forward, you can't really see your eyeshadow. You have to create a fake crease on top. So I would go a little bit higher. So I'm just blending using a windshield wiper method. I always use this method and I love this method. And I'm just applying more pink and I'm just really intensifying that color. Next I'm taking a smaller brush, and this is for underneath my eye. So I'm applying some pink eyeshadow underneath, that way I can tie the whole look together. Right now it's not that dramatic and it's very subtle, but that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted the main focus to be on my lips. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting it underneath my eye and I'm just blending it out. So going in with a darker pink, I'm just applying that to the outer corner, a little lower than my crease. I'm not going directly on my crease, I'm going a little lower so I can intensify that pink look. Now I'm not putting on too much, I'm putting on very little, but I am just blending it out. And what I'm doing is I'm just creating a nice shadow, and I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the middle and to the inner corner. I'm just creating like a wash of pink, but I focus on the outer corner first, that way the most product will be there. And then I'm not picking any more product up, I'm just blending it to the middle and the inner corners, so I'm not having that much product in the inner corner. So a little art history. The Rococo era started in the 17th century but didn't become mainstream until the 18th century in France and England. And what it was just taking luxury styles like colors of like pastel and intricate designs and infusing it in art and design and makeup. And I really feel like I'm inspired by this look because I use a lot of pastels in my everyday life, and I just really love the whole Rococo Marie Antoinette style of makeup. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a lighter eyeshadow. So from this palette there's a purple eyeshadow, and I'm just taking that and putting it on the center of my lid. I'm just trying to create like some space there, just this nice gradient look, and I'm just blending it with my finger ever so slightly. So I usually use a shimmer color for this part, but I'm using a matte color, and that's helpful for this look because this look is very muted and matte. So I'm blending it right now with a brush. Where the lighter color met the darker color, I'm just blending the two. So this look can be done with a few eyeshadows. You don't really need that many. You can even do just one actually. You can do like a nice pink wash all over. A wash of eyeshadow just means one color all over your lid. So this look, I really wanted to focus more on the cheeks and the lips, mainly the lips. So if you wanted to skip the eyeshadow altogether, I would say you can do that as well. So right now I'm using like a champagne eyeliner. I'm not using a black because again, I don't want it to be too harsh. This is pastel and muted, so I really wanted to use a nice light color for my eyeliner. This step is optional as well. I'm just applying eyeliner to the top of my lid, and I just like to do this because I'm going to wear false lashes. So if you're going to wear false lashes, you should really put a little bit of eyeliner so you can hide that band. And what I'm doing is I'm using a pencil eyeliner. I'm just putting it on there, and then I'm using my brush and I'm blending that out. This will give you a nice diffused line versus a harsh line, and if your eyeliner is not even straight, this step will fix it. So if you just kind of put your eyeliner there, and if it's a little jagged, you just use your brush and you just brush it out and make it nice and diffused. So now what I'm doing is I'm just curling my lashes for mascara. I do suggest a lot of mascara for this look because for the Rococo look, they used a lot of mascara or things that kind of created your eyelashes to look a little thicker. I don't think they had, you know, the same mascara we do, but they did make their eyelashes look thicker. So what I'm doing is I'm applying a lot to the bottom of my lashes. I really like this look. It creates a more romantic, you know, doe-eyed look when you put a lot of mascara. So now this is a very important step, and what I'm doing is I'm just applying some concealer with my brush underneath my eyes to hide my dark circles. This also helps if you have any eyeshadow that kind of fell out, which is called fallout. And what I'm doing is I'm using my ring finger and I'm just blending that out. I'm using very light pressure because the skin underneath is very, very sensitive. So I'm just blending it out with my finger. It's also important to note that I don't use that much concealer, and you actually don't need that much because you're going to blend it out into a larger area. I know a lot of YouTube videos show like that big triangle of concealer, and that's way too much. So what I'm doing is I'm setting it with powder because if I don't, my eye makeup will transfer to the rest of my makeup if I don't set it. So now for the blush. So this was a really important part of this makeup look because if you look at Rococo makeup or Marie Antoinette, they had really, really dramatic blush. And what this was for is this was just to create like a, you know, a really rosy cheek look, and it was really dramatic and they kind of went crazy with blush. So I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to do kind of an implied look. And what I'm using is a cream blush. I prefer a cream blush because I feel like it gives you a more natural look. With powder, I feel like you can see it set on top. But that's not to say you can't wear powder. I just prefer cream. You can even set cream with a little bit of powder. But cream is also easier to blend out. And the way you apply cream blush is you just put a little bit in a certain area and you just blend it out with a brush or your finger. So what I'm doing right here is I'm setting it with powder, that way it can stay on. I'm also just trying to create a matte look. As you can see, it caused a little bit of shimmer, and for this look I wanted it to be really matte, just the way they used to have their makeup. So now for the most important part of this look, we're going to do the lips now. So what I'm doing is I'm just applying some foundation just to prime my lips. They do sell primers specifically for lips, so you can buy a lip primer if you wanted to. I'm just using a foundation because it kind of acts the same. So I'm placing that all over my lips and I'm just blending it with my finger. Next, I'm going to line my lips, and what I'm doing is I'm doing this method of doing like a crisscross on top where my cupid's bow is, and I'm just going from one point, drawing down, going to the next point, drawing down, and creating this X. And then what I'm going to do is from the X directly in the middle, I'm going to draw straight down, and that'll create the point for the middle, for the bottom of my lip. Now creating points like this helps you line your lips because it just gives you a guide to go by. So what I'm doing is I'm going to one side, lining it, going to the other side, lining the other side. And this helps too because our lips aren't perfectly symmetrical. So without a guide, you might try to make it symmetrical on either side, and this kind of shows you like one side is different and the other side is, you know, another way. So I'm going on the top, I'm lining the top of it, meeting the crisscross, and then I will repeat this method on the other side. So I will go to the other side and I will just go from the corner and I will line it up to the top. So what I did that was not pictured is that I blended the lip liner by just smushing my lips and making the lip liner kind of go all over my lips. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just creating a nice shape. I'm just fixing those lines that needed to be fixed. So I'm applying a red lipstick, and I'm using kind of a cooler tone red lipstick because that's kind of my undertone. So to find your perfect red lipstick for your undertone, you need to look at your skin. So if you're more of a cool tone person, you will look best in silver jewelry and blue clothes and more of a cool tone colors. If your skin easily burns outside and turns red, like sunburn, you're more of a cool tone. Now, if you are warm tone, you tan easy and you look best with gold or, you know, reds and stuff like that. Now, if you find that you're so kind of in the middle, you can't really distinguish which one you are, you're probably neutral. Now this is an important step that often gets overlooked. You want to take out the red lipstick off your teeth. Next, you want to get your finger, put it in your mouth, take it out, get the excess off, and then get a tissue and blot the excess off too. So you want to do these steps, that way you don't have red all over your teeth. And now what I'm doing is I'm just setting the lipstick with some powder, but I don't want to put powder directly on my lips, so I'm putting a piece of tissue and putting it on top of that. So we're not done yet. We still have one more step for the lips, and what we're going to do is probably something you haven't done before, but I think you should try it. So I'm getting a little concealer brush and I'm getting a little bit of foundation and concealer, either one, and I am just drawing out my lips. So I'm just outlining the outside of it so I can make it nice and sharp. This step can also be done before you even apply lipstick at all, so you can even line your lips before you do this. I like to do it after because I like to make the lines extra sharp and crisp. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my time and I'm just lining the outside of it. And if there's any spots that I kind of messed up, I just get my lip liner and I line on top of it as well. Now I normally wouldn't use this much concealer. I feel like this is a little much, but I think this is good for the demonstration because you can see it. So even if you use very little, that'll work as well. So I'm just going over it again, and I'm just making sure those lines are really straight, and I'm following my natural shape of my lip. Now if you were to overdraw your lips or create, you know, try to create a bigger lip, then you would just do it from that point. Another interesting fact about the Rococo era is that red makeup was made of lead and mercury and just all this toxic materials, which of course nowadays, you know, we don't use stuff like that, which is good. But yeah, so they used to use really dangerous chemicals in their makeup, and red was typically used by upper class, while middle class preferred more of pink tones instead of red. It's interesting to me how makeup was used to determine what class you were back in the day. So if you had your makeup really heavy, you were typically of a higher class. So what I'm doing now, to get back to the tutorial, is I'm just blending the concealer out. So you want to do this step because if you don't, you're just going to have a big, you know, area of concealer that's not blended out. So you want to use like a flat brush or a sponge or your finger and just really blend it out. And another important step is you need to set this with powder. You need to do that or else it will go everywhere. So now for this step, and this is optional, I'm creating an ombre look with a lighter pink lipstick. So I'm just putting it in the middle, I'm smushing my lips together, I'm even patting them down, and then I am just kind of looking at it. And what this does is this creates depth and dimension, and this is just another way to do a red lipstick. So you can have it just matte or you can have it, you know, with this ombre technique. So next I'm applying lashes, and what I wanted to do is I just wanted to show you the difference between having lashes and not having lashes. These are more of a natural type of lash, so they're not very dramatic, and I wouldn't suggest something dramatic for this because, like I said, we're focusing more on the lips and the cheeks. And back then they didn't have false lashes, obviously, but so I'm just applying a natural lash. So just doing some finishing touches, and I know that one side came out a little brighter than the other side, and I didn't realize that until afterwards because I didn't have my glasses on, and it's kind of hard for me to see the whole look from far away without any glasses. But yeah, so I'm just doing any finishing touches. I'm just applying a lighter eyeshadow in the inner corner, and I'm just doing it on the bottom as well, just to kind of tie it all in together. You can do a nice little pop of champagne highlight, or you know, just a light shimmer color in there as well. And that's it for this look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of Rococo makeup and Marie Antoinette inspired makeup.